Hello and welcome to another part of Tour de Core. Sorry for the delay if anyone has been watching so far, or waiting for me to get on board. I'm finally online. I had some technical difficulties and I had to get ready for today's episode. I was a little bit late, but hey, at least I'm mostly ready. For anyone that's just tuning in, if anyone or is watching the videos later on, if you haven't watched this series yet, the streaming/video series, you can do so on the PAG Development YouTube channel and on Twitch at Nicola PagDev, I believe is. I'll put links in the description after this. Anyway, let's get on to today's topic. So actually, let's recap real quick what happened before. So in the first part, we read about blocks, we understood some of the philosophy, some of the basics behind blocks, how they're made, how they work, what's their purpose, and so on. In the second part, we learned how to, in the first part, we also finished off by creating a very simple hello world block. And that was about it. So you could change some attributes of the block, but not a lot. In the second video, we learned about dynamic blocks, how they work. We learned that dynamic blocks have to be rendered twice, so you have to render them on the JavaScript side, so when you're actually editing the block, and you also have to render them in the PHP side when you're rendering the block on the front end. So in that sense, blocks, dynamic blocks at least, are very similar to shortcodes because you still need to use PHP to render them. And like I said last time, that makes sense because if you only rely on JavaScript, then you're gonna have some issues like search engines trying to crawl your content, which would not work very well with most search engines. And so the topic of today's Tour de Core, even though I haven't put it on the agenda here, is trying to convert an actual Beaver Builder module into a Gutenberg block. And if we have some time left, I want to see how we can change things, how we can go even further. So in this case, I want to convert this right here, this whole row right here is a single Beaver Builder module. And I want to see how I can convert this into a Gutenberg block in the most seamless way. So right now on the back end, we're still going to be using advanced custom fields to provide us with the UI for entering the custom information. So I have a custom post type team, and I have our team members here, and down here we have the advanced custom fields panel field group, I guess, that has the member's image, name, position, bio, and one or more contact details. And this is going to be interesting to see if we can actually fetch this information from this might have we might have a problem with this. We'll figure it out. We might have to see about whether or not we can use advanced custom fields if it has a REST API. I don't think it does. Well, we'll learn more about it. Anyway, so that's the idea. I want to kind of see what it's going to take for us to do this. So if I bring up my code here, we have our main plugin file, and it hasn't changed since last time, obviously. So, as we know, first of all, we want to go into our plugin, Tour de Core, and want to run our script that compiles our React files into plain JavaScript. So I'm gonna start watching our files, and that's good. The next thing I want to do is create a new JSX file. and it's going to be team members JSX. And in this case, I'm going to create one block that renders all of the members again, and not a block that renders an individual member. There's cons and pros to both approaches. The thing I can think of is that if you have a block for an individual member, then you can customize that individual block more easily. Whereas if you have, the downside is though that if you add a new member, you have to go and add that team member block to everywhere where you're listing your team members. And on the other hand, with one block that renders all members, you get all the members rendered dynamically. So when you add a new member, you don't have to do anything, but you can only easily set controls across the whole block, instead of being able to say this member should have this kind of background and so on. Okay, so team members team members block JSX. Let's go here and just copy some of this stuff over. Post type options, we don't need this. We are going to need the with API data, and then we have our class. So TDC toward the core team members extends our base component. Then we need to kind of copy this over as well. So our TDC team members will be with API data, and in this case we want type to be our custom post type name, which is pdev team, as we can see right here. And here's something that we'll probably have to do. I'll probably have to actually enable our custom post type to be seen in the REST API, but we'll see that in a second. So pdev team, well, here let's say just that we want 10 up to 10, and order by we want date, sending, is that the case? Ascending, I guess. Okay, so ascending and order ascending. Maybe that's the way to go. Let's see. For the core, is it LP JSON? Yes. And our posts, version 2 posts, endpoints get per page, order ascending or descending, order by date, order by date, order ascending. Okay, so that seems good. We want to pass this, set this here, and the title is going to be team members. Yeah, let's add a step in there. Dash icons. I guess I can just use this one right here. Okay, groups, works for me. Attributes, we don't want any attributes just yet, so just get rid of them all. Category common, TDC team members. Okay, sweet. So this is our basic, really basic component. Obviously we're gonna need some more stuff. So we want our constructor into the component, and we want to have some sort of oh, and this also should be called team members. This is how we access our team members. render. So this will be like that. Loading team members information. There are no team members yet. Please add some. And if we do have content, then we'll just do total number of team members for right now. It's gonna be team members, data linked. Okay. A list of team members. And in this case, I'm not going to try and like copy all of the styling and everything off of here, because it's, I mean, we could copy it, but it's probably gonna be not very useful. So kind of just render as much of the information as we can, maybe make them actually look like blocks a little bit. But yeah, the goal is to get it functioning and pulling team member information as much as possible. And we don't need any controls right now. Okay, let's make this into a div. Okay, that should be good. So we have our really basic JSX class, our really basic class for block. The next thing we need to do is we just need to, well, there's a couple of things. First of all, we want to register our script, and we'll just add it right here. TDC Gutenberg team members block, and this will be again the same name, team members, and we still want it to depend on TDC base, which in turn will load all of the stuff that we need. And in here we want to also enqueue our custom block. Okay, and down here we are going to register TDC team members. How did I change that? Down here, I did not. Team members. Okay. Render team members block. Team members block. Okay. Let's just create this as a function. And we get the attributes. Right now, we'll just return work and div work and progress. Okay. And so now if I go back to our page, let's find a page to edit. Pages, sample page. Yes, I was testing this stuff. Okay, we have nothing here. Well, let's add a new one. Oh, what was that thing there? Is that for the classic editor? Interesting. Okay, quite interesting. So team members, and we want to add our team members block, loading team members information, and we might not get anything. Okay, let's see what happens. So we'll publish this, and do we have anything in the console? No. What about if we reload the page? Users? No, I don't need users. Yeah. So like I said, I think I know what it is. So I have a plugin here that is our utility plugin, and that's where I register the post type. show. So what we have to do here is show in rest. We want that to be true. And I think this will actually let us see the pdef team. We don't have it here. What about now? Now we have pdef team. Yeah, so if you're going to be, if you have a dynamic block that's going to be pulling information from a custom post type, you are going to have to register that custom post type in order to be able to pull that information. And another thing is, if you are going to be using Gutenberg, you also have to do the same thing. So if you want to use Gutenberg in a specific post type, custom post type, you need to register that for REST. So if I reload here, we should in theory see the number of team members we have. There we go, sweet. And as we can see here, we have a request that's sent to pdef team, and it gives us back the information that we get back from there. Now, here's the interesting part. I have to see how we're gonna put the custom fields into the REST API response. I know there is register post field, or register meta field, register REST field, okay. Okay, yes, that was introduced relatively recently, and they have an example: register REST field, get callback, right? Okay, expand full source. Yeah, so for the post type, without the post method, you can filter or return only the field. Right, okay, so this just gives us all of the post meta. Okay, so let's try doing that and see what happens. And this is actually going to make it easy for us to fetch the data from the API. We're not going to have to, because we don't have to create update callbacks, because why would we need those? We don't want to, well, we currently don't want to update from Gutenberg itself, so we just want to read the data and see what information we have about each team member. And so it seems like we need to do it on REST API init. Okay, so back to our custom class on actions. Register REST API fields. Okay, I don't think we get any information. No. Okay, and REST API init. Just gonna move this out of there. Okay, so in here we basically just want name of post type, name of field to return, array of callbacks and schema. Right. I personally like going like this. So pdef team is where we're going to register that. let's be descriptive. PDF team, and here we can say, we can be lazy, so we have a couple of options. We can either register one single field that will have all of our information, or we can register multiple fields so that we separate each field. In the case of reading, I mean, I would speculate here. I would say you don't really need to have multiple fields. In case you do want to update individual fields, it's going to be easier if you break them down. Because obviously when you are just updating, well, it's two parts, I guess. It's going to be easier in terms of just having, you're going to have more functions, but they'll have to take care of one single field. So instead of updating all sorts of fields and information with different schemas, you're going to have to deal with one field. Yeah, so in this case, I'm just gonna member information. Just gonna do a single one. Member information, get callback, and we're going to define our custom method here. And what do we get? The object with ID. Okay, object. So we'll do an array of data. Yeah, array of data. So we want their, in this case, let's just assume that we want to pull everything from custom fields. So including the name and everything, even though, ooh, look at that. Wow. Now that's something I didn't expect. So yeah, like I said, you need to register your custom post type so that it shows in the REST API, and you automatically get Gutenberg in it, which is something I do want to explore. I do want to look, if we have some time today, I do want to look into how we can take this information and just put it into Gutenberg with the custom fields and all that stuff. Hopefully we'll have some time for this. If not, next time. Yeah, so today I just want to see what's gonna take like the least resistance, the path of least resistance for converting something that is in Beaver Builder to be in Gutenberg. So we're gonna have name. Again, we're gonna have some duplicate information here, that's fine. Get field. Object ID. Just lazy here. Don't want to type all that much. Okay, get field for that ID. Let's see what my fields are called, of course. And return data. Okay, so back here in our custom fields, we have profile info, member image, team member name. So there it is, team member name. And we want image, position, bio, and they're just called like that. Position, I guess short bio, and contact details we'll deal with later. But I guess we could just deal with it now. Yeah, we could literally just have it formatted the way that get field returns it. ID. Same with the image, actually. I didn't even think about that. Well, let's just try returning this. Nah, let's do it like that. And then here, let's just, when we're rendering information, let's do console log of what we have. So team members data So we can see what kind of information we're getting from the REST API into our block. So we have an array of 3 objects, and member information, contact details false, image, name, position, short bio. Oh yeah, image is not supposed to be, there we go, this is our image field. There we go. Image, this is what advanced custom fields gives us, so plenty of information. We technically don't even need all of this stuff, and it might not be a bad idea to just trim it down, but it's not, unless you have like hundreds of thousands of people that are going to be querying, or custom posts that you're going to be querying, or you're going to have lots of image fields, then it would be a good idea. If you're working, in this case, you know, this page we're going to load like what, a couple of times a year at most, to when we add new team members, and we're only going to have a couple of team members in here, so it's not a big deal, but you should consider your use cases because they might vary, obviously. Okay, sweet. So we have all of the information that we need, and basically we just have to render some stuff. I do want to eventually explore what we can do, how we can make the front end and back end a little bit easier to deal with, like, but we'll see. I've previously done when I've had to reuse the same code over the front end and the back end, like with JavaScript and with PHP. I have used WordPress template. Yeah, I've used something like this. That would be template. So I would have one PHP file that will render, or a function that will render either the JS template, so with the script tags and, you know, script tags, placeholders and stuff like that, or will render, so if you pass it an array of, in PHP, an array with data, it's gonna just put the data in there and not put any script tags. Otherwise it will put the script tags and do the placeholders as they're supposed to be. It's a little bit of a pain to set up, not the best way, definitely, and I don't know if this could even be used in Gutenberg blocks. We might be able to, but I feel like we'll probably have to use dangerously set inner HTML or something like that, which is not ideal. So yeah, we'll see. But right now, let's go back to our focus. So we have the data, we have our team members, and we kind of just want to render everything in there. So div team members wrap, and now we basically want to loop through each of them. Data map function. Okay, and so we want to render the name. So in here we are getting member. What do we call this? Let's just shorten this information. Call me lazy or anything. Member information name, and actually maybe, so if we have an image, so member information image. So when you have to do conditional, oh, I have to return. When you have to do conditional things in JSX, it's a little bit of a pain, but it's not impossible. There's a couple ways you can do it. I'll show you both ways right now. So team member, just team member, let's be short. And this goes in here. So one way is to use this sort of thing, short diffs, whatever their official name is. So if we have an image, then we want to return an image with a class and an src. So member information image. We could use the full size. We should probably go with like the large size or something, or medium. Again, depends on medium, large. Yeah, let's do large for better quality. Image sizes large. So in this case, I would totally use not this method. I would use something else, the other method. So let's do that instead. So basically, we define a variable image, and so if let's just set it to null. So if we have member information image, then let's do another one, image src was just nothing. And now if we have a large size image, member information image sizes large, image size large, and keep in mind you should be fairly certain that you're gonna get like sizes, because if we don't have sizes, JavaScript's gonna explode. It's gonna not like that for sure. But in this case, we're fairly certain it's gonna come. So if we have a large image, then the image source will be the large image, which is just a URL, right? Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just use member information image URL, which I think we already have, right? Yeah, URL. And here image will be equal to this. Image source and team member image. Okay, so we're going to do image here, image, and then we're going to do the name, and then if we have a position or if we have the other stuff, we'll put it separately. Position. So if we have, and this is where the other sort of short if comes. So if we have member information position, then we'll do otherwise no. Is it gonna work here? Yeah, that seems to work. Okay, sweet. Information position, and the same thing with our short bio. In this case, we'll do a paragraph instead. And again, yes, class name, not class. Okay, member position, member short bio. Okay, and let's see what's gonna happen now when we reload the page, the editor. We should see all three of our pictures and everything show up. Whoops, maybe not. Image, yes, my keyboard keeps skipping some letters every now and then. So annoying. And kind of something, I mean, we have the information I see an error though, which I don't like. Check the render method for more information. Generate, oh, right, yes. I noticed this before, and the first one, the second stream, I don't know. We need to have a unique key every single time. That's something you get used to as you write stuff for React and JSX in general. I don't know if it's a JSX thing or specifically a React thing. Steam member, and here I like to do both the ID member. Is that ID? Yes, member.id, and then our index inside of the array, because React sometimes is a little annoying when the keys remain the same even though stuff changed. Okay, so that should be good now. Let's get rid of our console log. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so I think we're good so far. Sweet. So yeah, as you can see, we have all of our information right here. You know, shows up nicely. Obviously, that's not the ideal setting that we want for it, and we'll tweak that a little bit. But let's see what happens when we go to the front end and a work in progress. That's not fun, obviously, but we expected that. So now here's where our front end rendering comes in handy. Actually, let's style our backend first a little bit, and let's figure out a way that we can use the same CSS for the backend and the front end. I'm quite interested in that, because I definitely don't want to reuse or duplicate the CSS as well. So that's just gonna be a pain. Team membership. So I think we'll be able to deal with this. So that's good. Yeah. Okay. So let's find our assets, CSS, new file, and we can do. What are we going to do? We're going to do blocks CSS. And here's something else that I think is pretty cool. If you're writing a plugin that provides styling to, or heavily styles elements on the front end or the back end, well, with Gutenberg it could be both. I mean, now it could be both, but if you do that and if you have lots of CSS, I think, well, I would personally appreciate it if I stumble across your plugin and I need to heavily customize the CSS, if you have a way to disable that. And there's a couple ways. One way is the filter, obviously, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like a filter is probably a better option. Okay, so we'll do that. So right here we're going to register our style. Let's do it conditionally. So if TDC TDC blocks default styling is true, then register our style. TDC Gutenberg blocks. We'll give it the link to our CSS file. CSS and blocks CSS. And then we can do the same thing over here when we're enqueuing stuff. If this is true, then just enqueue our style. And this way, if somebody else wants to register their own styles, it's super easy. They just have to hook into, well, they don't even have to hook into it themselves. you just type app filter, the name of our filter, return false. WordPress has a bunch of these built-in nifty return. Yeah, as you can see, there's quite a few here. Empty array, empty string, false, null, 0, true. Very useful. So you can do one-liner filter overriding. Okay, so if we have our default styling, we're going to load it, and we should also register our scripts. .p&q scripts. We want to register our scripts. I don't want to call them admin scripts, but it is what it is. .p&q scripts. In this case, we are going to enqueue frontend assets. So on the front end, we're probably not going to need the scripts for the blocks, but on the back end, we're going to need the styling. Nothing here. And again, we'll just copy this over and paste it right here. Okay. Sweet. So now, if we decide to, say, put a background on this, on our team members wrap, we can do so. Yes, yes. Yeah, in this case, I have a fancy background, but we can just do this background right here. Background color. And so I guess what else we can do, yeah, let's just start with this, make sure it works. Sweet, we have our background, so our styling is working. That's pretty cool. Is there any way we can make this full width? No idea. Huh. I actually don't know. Block. Yeah, we don't have anything on the block side of things. Settings, that just opens the block. Huh. Yeah, weird. Full width block. Is that a thing? It's an issue. Did you see the cover text block? Interesting. How does it do it? Okay, so let's add a cover text. Cover image. I don't think that's gonna work the way they're saying it's gonna work. Let me find something to upload real quick here. I think this one is more manageable. Yep, better. Okay. Okay. Let's just add a lovely picture of our office right here. Select. Yeah, pretty much. No. What? We can. What? Wow, that's. I want to see how that was built. Hello world. Let's update. Yeah, it's not really forward. Weird. Okay, so maybe it's not full up here. Forward CSS system iframe. Let's explore it. Not very interesting. Shows forward cover image, but this option is not. Okay. How does one do it? White image is true and add team support Gutenberg. And after you can set forward cover image. Missing the markup that should be added. Interesting. So what does that mean? Well, obviously it means that we need a theme that actually supports Gutenberg instead of just using 2017, I believe, whatever we're using. Okay, well, that's a bummer. Anyway, let's not bother with this right now. We'll explore this later at some point probably. Okay, so back to our block. Let's save this. We're going to want to just style things a little bit so that they're not as poorly displayed as they are. Ooh, and we can get fancy and use CSS grid. Can I use it? Yeah. Grid. CSS grid layout. That's pretty decent coverage. Mostly. And I'm going to read as we go because I don't do a whole lot of front-end work these days. At least not with the latest stuff. Basic, important properties for the parent, display, grid. Okay, so for our team members wrap, we're going to want to do display grid. Okay, and I remember there was a Gutenberg, there was a CSS grid talk on the WordCamp Varna, which unfortunately I didn't get to attend, but I've probably learned what I need to do here. Grid template columns. Can we just do length percentage or fraction? A third, a third, a third. Wait. Is that a thing? No. How can we do a fraction? First line 2, blah blah blah. Ooh, repeat. This repeating part you can use repeat. Nah. Okay, well let's do 30%. Oops. Percent. Sweet! Look at this. Wow. Yeah. New CSS blows my mind. Pretty awesome. Grid column start, grid items location and grid. Nope. What about spacing? Fractional free spacing. Oh, fractions are done with the FR unit. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, so I guess what we can do is, how do we use the fraction unit? One fraction, one fraction, one fraction. Okay, it's 10 pixels, one fraction, one fraction, one fraction, 10 pixels. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, okay, never mind. Spacing. Properties like grid spacing. Don't do like couldn't as any other row column. Some more. Okay, so we currently can do that. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So do just fractions then, and we're going to set padding 5 pixels 0, 0 5 pixels, and then the team members are going to have a padding of 5 pixels 0. Yes, I just made the same mistake. Okay, there we go. So that kind of makes it look okay-ish, more or less. Yeah, the cool thing is if we have any more, then they'll just go down on the next line. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, like if we change this to 2 fractions, it just automatically goes to the next one. That's cool. Yeah, let's just add that CSS and we'll be pretty much good to go. And then team member, we just have some padding, and that's about it. Block max height of, let's say, 250 pixels, margin okay, we'll see. And for no margin bottom. The member position. No top. Smaller. And normal font weight. And then finally, we'll just do member information image. Oh. Sorry, I just saw your comment. No, because I changed, well, member information image. Oh, yeah, because I changed information to be, well, member information to be just information. I changed this right here. Yeah, so this is only information now. Team member. We had member short bio. We'll reduce the font size on this one and see how it goes. Okay, so with all that CSS, let's just take a look. Okay, that's a little more presentable. Not ideal, but it could do. I'd say it's good enough. Yeah, we can reduce the margin. Yeah, it's a little better. 1 height, 1.5. Makes things a little neater. And then just add some padding, 10 pixels to the bottom. There we go. Pixels, and one height 1.5. Okay, so that kind of works. Now the front end rendering, this is where, well, actually up until now we should have probably been using the actual code from the Beaver Builder module. So let me find that real quick. I don't know if I have it here. I don't. I can copy that real quick. Okay, RT, we'll copy to the core. Yeah, let's just copy that right here. Okay, so here's the Beaver Builder module. We have a class that is the module itself. We have a bunch of information about the module. Obviously, this is stuff specific to Beaver Builder. But in theory, we could just copy this right here and use a lot of that information to register our Gutenberg block. So the name would become the title of our block, then the description. Are there descriptions in Gutenberg? If there are, I haven't really seen them besides on the right, obviously. So our description could go right here. And category, this is Beaver Builder specific, but you can kind of translate it to Gutenberg stuff. Directory URL, we don't care about, obviously. Whether we can export it, that's not. We don't care about that, we don't care about that. And this is what we care about. These are the settings. So we had very simple settings. We just had a title. This is even incorrect. But yeah, so we just had a title. And I'm not even going to do this with this block because we're in Gutenberg. It's pretty easy to just add another one. I guess we could do the same in, I guess it makes sense. Okay, let's copy over the title as well, because the idea there was to make it super easy to just put one thing, enter all the information, and just be done. Well, in this case, one field for the title. So we can have our text control here. And as usual, I have to go back and see how we've done this, because I'm not that good at remembering stuff. So label value, label, so our label is section title, for example, and value, nothing for right now. On change, we have to do something, and help. I don't think we need a help thing in this case. Okay, so on the change this on section title change, which means we have to register that method, which is very simple. It just takes our content and saves it. So we can just say title title, title, title. Everywhere titles. And our attributes will have a title, which is just type string, pretty much. Type string. Okay, and just text control value is title. Team members attributes. From the attributes, we want to extract our title, and we'll just put it in here, and also in here as well, except for further out. Team members rep, so we can just do this number. And if we have a title, do h3 and our title. Okay. Now when we go here, we'll go on the block, and there's nothing. Is that caching? Did I break something? Yes, I did. Okay. Oh, right. If we don't have a title, we have to just return null. Yes. Settings for a block, section title. Our team. Oh yeah, okay, so that's not ideal. Whoops. Well, but whoops in our CSS. Anyway, that's fine. We can fix this later. But anyway, what I want to show is that you can just kind of follow the same structure that you had here. And obviously, the more settings you have, it's gonna be more difficult to copy all those over to the Gutenberg block settings. But again, it's not really that difficult. Like here, this is the code that registers our field with Beaver Builder. We just say it's type text label default. I guess we don't have, we did have a default somewhere. Was that on the attribute itself? Yes, so we can do the default as well, so that's fine. Yeah, and then it translates to this, which is almost the same, really. We just have one more thing, which is on change. We need to have a custom function that handles changing the value and saving it, which with Beaver Builder, that was handled for us. But again, with this, you could, you know, do some stuff to make your life easier. For example, you can have in your component, in your base component, you could do you know, on text attribute change, which is a function that takes text and key, and then we can just do it's an object, and then attribute key equals text, and then this props set attributes, you know, and do this number. And this can be like underscored, so you know it's for internal use. And then inside of your actual block, you can do something like this. This on section, let's just call it on title change, so that we can differentiate, equals this text attribute change bind. You know, we're binding this, and then I think we can give it an array of parameters. I think let's see if it works. So in TDC base, we can do a console log, say that we're calling from here, and this is our key, and this is our text. And we can even comment this out, and we just have to change this to somewhere here, blah blah blah. On section title change, there we go. Let's update this, and let's reload the page. Let's look at our settings again, and it doesn't work. Oh, okay, so we're not supposed to pass an array, we just pass each of the parameters that we want to pass to our function. Okay, that's fine. Settings, our team, title. Why is it not updating? That's bizarre. This props. What is this bound as? Set attributes. It should be correct. TDC team members, context, props, attributes. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Oh, obviously, yes. Oh, yeah, okay, so this is key, this is text. There we go, that was all. Yeah, so my point is that you can make your life easier by thinking, ahead a little bit, or as you face certain things, fix them and see how we can make them better. Yeah, so this was a simple thing, not a whole lot, a very simple thing. You're still gonna have to write one function in theory. You're still gonna have to write this line. You could be a little fancy and go, this will have, but I don't know if that's gonna work. It probably will, but you can have, I guess you can even just go through the attributes and find all attributes that are type string, maybe. Yeah, you can automate this a lot, basically. So yeah, you can do it that way. And where was I before I sidetracked a little bit? Okay, so this was all of our UI settings on the back end when editing the Beaver Builder module. We recreated this. Now, this is a very simple Beaver Builder module. It only has the frontend.php file, which is what is called to render the module. And we're using Beaver Builder's helper class that runs queries for us, and we just give it the settings of our module, and we can see that right here. I don't even think those are being used, to be honest, though. Let's take a look. Yes. Okay, so here's an inefficiency on our end. This is not supposed to be here. Yes, because we're doing a custom query. So what we can do is we can just literally copy this over. Yeah, and watch this. This is gonna be even the query part. So we can copy this whole file over, and we can. It's not gonna be 1-to-1, obviously, but it's gonna be very, very close. And we can just do this number. Obviously we're gonna have to do all the buffering, unless you want to play with strings and big huge things of messiness. I don't like those. I prefer doing output buffering. I'm sure it's not ideal in terms of performance, like compared to maybe concatenation, but I'm not sure. Rather, there is a way to make concatenation very slow. Yeah, so here we have whoops, whoopsie. We have just an anchor tag. Okay, yeah, so it needs to be like that. And so here, instead of settings title, what we're going to use is just attributes title, I think. Right? That's what we call it, attributes title, yeah. So we can just grab all of those, change it for attributes title. That's it. I think. Member position, short bio, name, image, contract, all of that stuff. Yeah, this is a fun function. But yeah, in theory, I think. Yeah, oops, we're missing some escaping stuff. Good thing we don't want to hack ourselves. We still need to fix it, obviously. Leave. Okay, we can reload this page. Reload this page, and there we go. So this is our front end. And now, if I were to do something horrendous, which you should not do, if I were to find our enormous CSS file and just steal it for a second, if I can even find it here. Okay, there's our minified style CSS. Yeah, okay, I'll save that real quick so that we can. Where did you go? There we go. Okay. Nope. Toward the core. Come on. I'll just save it right here. Okay, so now if we just enqueue a custom style, obviously probably a lot of stuff will break because this different CSS, home URL, style, min CSS. And then let's just enqueue that as well. Again on the front end only. TDC, Gutenberg, custom CSS. And let's see what happens. Yeah, don't work. It don't work at all. Oh wow. Yeah, that is not what should happen. But you know, if you have something like, oh, I know what I'm missing. I'm missing some JavaScript that's supposed to show those guys. Let's see if we can just drop these data animate. And if that's gonna make them actually show up, because I think that might be. Nope, that's not what's hiding them. FX maybe relative opacity 0. Yes, so it is the. Okay. Okay, sweet. So let's drop this. Refresh. What do you know? It works. Wow. I didn't expect that to work quite like that. Yeah, so as you can see, it works. We have our pretty much exact same module, you know. Even here there is a little bit of a border, so yeah, that's part of it. Just hard to see against the dark background. Yeah, see? So converting actual things to Beaver Builder modules, I think it's gonna be, well, depending on the case, of course, but in your general case, it's probably gonna be relatively easy to do so, and that's pretty cool, I think. Sweet. And obviously you could try and load the same CSS on the backend, but that's gonna be messy. So this is definitely something that's gonna be an issue, I think. Depends on how you've written your CSS. If you've written it very well, then you might be able to just like extract it and put it back in a separate file that you can load on both the backend and the front end. But in my case, it's just not possible. I don't even want to talk about how big our style CSS file is. It's way too stupendously big. Plus, we also use Sass, and with Sass it might work. It should be easier with Sass. But yeah, it just has a lot of dependencies and stuff that is not necessary to be there. But yeah, that's about it. We could do custom stuff for here. Oh yeah, and let's go back here. So our team members wrap, display grid. So basically we should just throw this out of that div, like so. And just to be nice, we can do team members outer wrap. Yeah, this is my solution to we need to move things further out. Yeah, so that fixes our styling and everything. Yeah, so that's about it. That's what we have to do to convert a Beaver Builder module to a Gutenberg block. Again, it's not 100%. The backend is not exactly what it is on the front end, obviously. So you're gonna have to put in some more effort to make it work pretty on the backend as well. But it's not impossible. As we saw, enqueuing stuff on the backend is super easy. Custom CSS on the backend, not a big huge deal. So yeah, if you want to convert something that already exists into Gutenberg, if you want to do it 100% all the way, like including styling and functionality and everything on the backend, it's gonna be a little bit more effort. But if you are okay doing it just like a little bit lazier, you know, so that it's not 100% one-to-one. Anyway, Gutenberg is not exactly one-to-one because it's on the back end and it has its own styles. Hopefully someday they'll make it work on the front end. I really hope so, actually. I'll be very happy if in that, you know, in that way it gets closer to Beaver Builder in terms that you can just edit on the front end, because that's super awesome. Yeah. So not a whole lot of effort for your general modules in Beaver Builder that just take some posts from a custom post type and put it into a Gutenberg block. I'm messing up my words now. Now, like I said before, I have a little bit more energy left in me. It's not even midnight, so I do want to see how we can change stuff on the back end for the team member so that we utilize as much of Gutenberg as we can. Now, as we saw, we have Gutenberg enabled already, which is awesome. What we need to do here is build a couple of custom modules, and we could actually just do a single module, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it. We can have all of this information, all of the stuff that's in this field to be a single block, and that would be pretty sweet. Okay, let's do that. So we want to start by creating a new block. Team member information block JSX. Okay, we're gonna shamelessly steal all of our work so far, put it right here. And now the thing is, I don't even think that we need the width API data, because back when we saw, yep, don't need this, don't need that. I guess I do have that information right here. And the stuff that was useful. Gutenberg handbook. Reference attributes, yes. Meta. Okay, there we go. Our meta type source meta. Sweet, perfect. That's exactly what I need. So what we're going to do is simple. We just have to define our attributes. So let's change some stuff here real quick. Obviously, TDC team member information is the name of our block. We no longer have our team members from here, so we don't have that. We don't have that. We have this like so. This moves over here, and now we're going to we'll leave this one here. Fills out information about this team member. Okay, TDC team member information. Okay, team member info. Come on, member info. We can do a better one than this. I remember there was something like maybe I remember wrong. Ah, this one. Okay. Oh, we're using this one. We'll use this one. Okay, now here what we're going to want to do, and this is a cool part, we might be able to reuse the exact same fields that Advanced Custom Field has already registered. So position, short bio, team member name. Again, this is silly, but we'll just roll with it. So team member name. So I want to put name first. Name, type string, and what was the next thing? Nope. Source meta and meta is team member name. Okay, and actually let's just go ahead and see if this is going to work. So what we want to do is extract name from our attributes and just kind of put it here into, come on, into this, and team member name. So we'll set this on title change. So here, actually we don't even need to, it's not any different, is it? Because it was exactly the same set attribute. Yeah, sweet. So we can just use that. How cool is that? Okay, and we will just change, it's not going to be on title change, it's going to be so this is name on name change. Okay, and register our script. Ooh, I wonder how we can conditionally register only on the post step that we need. Register meta. Yep, that's fine. Single type. Okay, we'll deal with this later. Team member information block. Oh, that's long. Team member information block. Team member information. I think if we just do a conditional here, let's just do an old-fashioned var dump. I think get post type here should give us the name of our custom post type. So if we reload here, string, oh come on. Yes, so we have pdef team. So we could just use this. So if this is not, well, I guess if this is our get post type, then include this. And I think this should also work on creating new ones as well. So that way you can limit the ones that you don't need, because obviously why are you gonna want a team member block on a post type that is not a team member post type? So you could just limit things that way. And another cool thing that I don't know where it is up to right now. I think they have them, like I think they have packed of team, nope, blocks, team member. Oh, why is my icon not there? Ooh, yikes. Templates, so being able to, okay, being able to, sorry, something's going haywire here. Good, title is not defined. Really? How am I using title? But being able to use templates basically, and oh yeah, we don't need this stuff. That's correct. Being able to use templates so that you can define what kind of template, what kind of set of blocks you want for each post type. Potentially for like page templates, post templates, what we currently have, you know, in the templating system in WordPress, and just locking the content down to those. So that's going to be pretty cool. And you know, I can see that as completely replacing, well, partially replacing meta boxes, as we saw from the other block from the, yes, please just delete it. As we saw from the cover image block, you can just like write straight onto this and do other stuff, you know, interact with, like, your settings don't need to be always over here. So, you know, that's pretty cool. That you can have control straight into the preview of your block. Title, we have more titles here. No, okay. Dash icons ID out. Oh, because it's just ID out. So now we should be good to go, and we should be able to wire these. Oh, silly me. No, I got rid of it. Huh. That's interesting. There weren't that many errors before. Huh. So that's definitely bizarre. Okay, well, team member info. Still an error. Titles. I got rid of this. Come on, caching. Don't cache stuff. Okay. Still an error. Team members is not defined. Oh yes. We don't need team members anymore either. Yep. Don't need that stuff. And yeah, we could just render our backend settings right here. So I could do something like this, and in theory it should just work. I think. I could be completely wrong, but let's see. Come on. There we go. And in the settings, team member name. What do you know? Yeah, it works both places. So you don't have to have this one. You can just have this one right here, and it will still work. Team member name, is that gonna update this right here is the question. Or do we have to click update? We'll probably have to click update, don't we? Oh, and also that didn't actually bring over our post meta. Oh yes, because we need to do the other part in PHP, which I totally forgot about. We need to register our, yes, register meta. Shown as true, single true type. It's not gonna be integer. Yes, so I totally forgot about that. Sorry, PHP fields. I assume we'll be fine with doing this one as well. Yeah, I see why they did this. Anyway, pdef team, and this is, what do we say this? It's team member name. So it's single, but our type is string. Register meta. Type default is string, string or integer. Okay. And let's reload again. Yeah, these are still there. Weird. Very weird. Still not in there. Reusable blocks. Nope, this is just looking for reusable blocks. What about if we do test and update? Meta team member name test. What if we reload now? Did that stick? It did not stick. Is there anything else we need to do that is special? I guess I can read a little bit more. I feel we exclude from post objects meta, that's fine. Values. Single and our type parameters, that's fine. Spectators type. So post remaining 30 even after saving, that's fine. They're not being very helpful here, because I'm pretty sure that we have to do okay. What's the name of the ID of our post? 35. Team member name. Yes, that's correct. Maybe we need to do this on it actually. Register REST API meta. Is that what the problem is? No. Because it should just load my name in there, and it's not doing that. Team member name, the post type, show and rest, single. Yeah, so that should be just fine. Are we doing something wrong here? And attribute side, type string, source meta, meta team member name. Exactly the same thing. Huh. Well, that's my understanding, that it should just work. I guess let's get rid of this. Do we need to have the same name? I don't think. Offer, maybe. See if that's our problem here. I kind of doubt it, but doesn't hurt to check. No, it doesn't seem like we're getting anything else. Huh. Post. We have meta here. No meta. How come? We have the information. No meta. Huh. I would think that it would show up here. Does it show up in... No team member name here. Object type meta key args, nothing. Type description single. Show and rest. It's protected meta. That's fine. Do we need to do this? Oh. What if we're just calling before the post type is registered? No, not that. Way too many names. Paragraph team. That is the meta key. Show us true, single true. No testing here. Huh. Okay, what if we go to paragraph team? Still no testing. That doesn't seem right to me. Oh, I changed the wrong priority. Is that gonna fix it? Nope. Yeah, it's still testing. Testing, nope, no testing. Huh. Type description, sanitize, authentication, go back. Yeah, it just doesn't work. That is so bizarre. Well, that's fine. Type description, show and rest true. Oh, so is that separately registered? Methods, endpoints. Meta. Oh, meta. Meta fields. Bunch of meta fields. They say this was fixed in core. Show and rest. Set change set. Name marks name. What am I missing? Is this even being code? It's a good question to ask. Static function. Register. Should be getting called. Yes, it is being called. Okay, so let's just copy one of their examples and see if that works. Yes, of course you'll get all of this stuff. And there we go. Shown as true, single true type string. Just change our post type. Is there something on the register post type side that we need to change? Single. That could be it too. Yeah, because it's not here. What if we change it back to post? Are we gonna see it now? No. Trim tests. Let's get rid of the vision because maybe they changed something. Same exact code, I think, as before. Not really any difference that I can see. Post as single. Still have shown as single type. Huh. Well, that's a first. Is it even supposed to show up there? Get value. Yeah, so we're supposed to get it from there. Team 35, I think, was the correct one. Yes, 35. Test single. What about testing? Nope, no testing, nothing. Get data, schema, and then the data. Okay, so maybe it's something to do with register post type. And maybe I'm just missing something when registering the custom post type. Shown rest base, the controller class. And that's about it. Let's see. I can find this. It has meta. Okay. And that meta is being used how exactly? Meta. Schema. Post type attributes. Ha. I think I see the problem. Supports should have custom fields, shouldn't it? Maybe not. Collection, featured media. No, that is so weird. Okay, let's keep digging. Yeah, so these are the things that are post type supports. Fixed schemas, post type attributes, post type attributes as attribute. Custom fields. No, that's fine. Get the schema. Fixed schemas. What are fixed schemas? Suppose type. And if it doesn't support custom fields, yes, then continue. Hold on a second. I'll move this over here. Not that it's super important. Okay, so we already have logging. Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff, noise in there. So let's see. Oops, I guess. Let's just see if this is true. Nothing. 1. Okay. Let's see, our type should be correct. Page, post, attachment, paragraph theme. Okay, so that's here. Yeah, and it seems to pass most of the things. Attribute, what kind of attribute are we looking at? And let's just reduce the noise a little bit more. So all the logged information we need. Reload. Pretty sure I changed you. Anyway, custom fields. Oh, because I'm logging the other stuff. Yeah. Custom fields. True. And true, and true, and true, and true, and true, and true again. Okay. So the next step to check would be if this is the post type and custom fields is our attribute. We'll move this further down. I guess we don't need to do that. I guess we could just do this right here. So if it's paragraph theme, let's just see what we have in here. Meta fields. Okay. Test single. It's right here. And here and here and here again and again and again and again. So why are you not showing up? And technically, where's the meta? We should see testing as well. Not just test single. Shown rest single type string. Exactly the same thing. So how come one of them shows up and the other one doesn't? Okay. Properties, test single, no testing. Huh. Default null description. Check meta as array. Yeah, that just makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. Nonsensical. Okay, so we have a meta here now. Huh, what do you know? Oh, this is for the post tag. What? Oh, I missed reading the documentation, didn't I? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Type of object this meta is registered to. No, nowhere does it say. So I have a feeling that this is not really what I think it is, and it's something else instead. See, object subtype. Why? I don't know the registered WP return instead, which it's not being done. What is it being done? Has an object type of post and an object subtype of post. Yes. Why? This needs to be described here because this is not, yeah, this is not here. Are you serious? Okay. So post and then an object subtype of pdef team. Am I right? And let's bring this back to our correct team member name. Okay, here's something that I can do after finishing the stream or whenever I get a chance. I have to update this documentation. This is probably updated in the developer site, isn't it? No, it's not here either. Subtype. Subtype. No, no subtype. Any user contributed stuff? Yes, there is. Yep. Unless this is adding it to everyone, but I kind of doubt that it would be. Let's see. So let's just look at posts. Posts. Sorry. Posts. Let's look at 15. Testing. Meta. Oh, yes, it is. Huh. Team member name. That is so weird. What? What? I'm lost. I'm at a loss here. REST request set. Explode. Yeah. No idea. Okay, but why? Yes. Is there caching here? Please don't tell me it's not from caching. No, it's still showing up. Okay, I might be. Oh right, because we need to register for the post type. Yes, that's why it's not showing up. Right, that explains things. Object subtypes, post types in the case of post meta, taxonomies in the case of term meta. This feature was dropped. Oh, thanks a bunch. The code around this to be simplified significantly. That makes sense, I get it. Object type is this. Instruction object type has been removed. Okay. So that's a lame thing, and I hope that will get worked around soon. Where are they? Milestone 50. Okay, maybe we'll see it with Gutenberg. How strict do we want to be about collisions? Functions specific to object types that could be used whenever someone wants to register data for subtypes, such as post meta or term meta. Okay. I like this. Okay, well, anyway, for our intents and purposes though, it turns out that we just have to set this to post instead of our custom post type. Yeah, so we don't need any of that stuff. Don't need that. Type string post. So yeah, keep in mind the caveat here is that we register one field, we register that for every single post type. So it doesn't matter if it's a custom post type or a post, as we saw right here, we get the team member name everywhere. So that's definitely not fun. Like if you have a very custom field heavy backend, that's not good at all. What you could do instead of this, instead of going the register meta route, what you could do is filter and hook into add additional fields. Schema. There's other ways to do that so that you can filter for specific stuff. Additional fields, get additional fields. I'm gonna look into it real quick. Well, one way is obviously to just simply get additional fields. Yes. One way is obviously simply to create your own REST controller, but I think that's a little bit of an overkill if you just want to add a couple of fields. Any until ready. Okay, so where was this defined? I think there was a function, REST API, yada. Register REST field, there we go. Yeah, so get kit, callback, update, callback, and schema. Yeah, so obviously this thing. Haha. Okay. The downside with this is obviously you're gonna have to set up your own update callbacks, because if you don't have an update callback, you're not gonna be able to update the field. Whereas with register meta, that does it for you. So again, as with a lot of other stuff, you have to kind of weigh out the different options and consider which one is better for you. Yeah. Object. I wonder if we're getting get callback. REST API. Get items here. What? Object type. So it just calls the get callback with object name and field name. There we go. So we could just have one function again that just deals with all of our stuff. So we could just have, let's just copy this real quick. pdef team, and we want to register team member name. I think that's field name. Yeah, so that's the field name. Get callback, get REST API. Well, get meta for API. For the REST API. We don't want any schema because we're lazy. And then our update callback. Yeah, so our update callback, the value, object, field name again. So perfect. And update callback will be update meta for REST API. Do we have to do data additional fields for object? Create item, also update item, prepare item for get post, update item. At which point is permissions callback? Okay, so at this point, if our function is being called, then we have permission to do the changes that we want to do. So anyone that has access to updating our post type will be able to update this field. And here we get the value, the object, and the key. So something we might want to consider here. Well, I guess it's also doing the checking of the additional fields for it. If it's not set, yeah. Okay, so it does sanitization for us. Like, no one's gonna be able to do a random field and just have it updated with our callbacks. That's cool. The value, object, field name, request, and the object type we don't care about. I guess we could really just get object type. What does this give us? Yeah, we don't care about that. Object post type is probably what we have in there. So update post meta, object ID, key, and value. And here obviously you can do some sanitization. For example, I don't know if we have to strip slashes. Maybe not. Let's just see what we have here. Object, the object. Let's look at the value as well. But this should be, yeah, we should just have to call update post meta. Now we can get rid of this register meta that pollutes the REST API everywhere. We still need to define this function. And here we're getting the object and the key. And yes, let's look at the object real quick. And we just return get post meta. As we know, this is going to be for singular ones only. You could have a separate function that retrieves multiple values and updates multiple values. But in this case, we just want one single value. Also, let's get rid of our changes here because we figured things out. Okay, and let's just see what's in the debug log. Okay, there it is. Nothing. Doing something wrong then. Rest field, team information, team member name, get meta for REST API. Okay. Is this never being called? Team member name. Yeah, this is just not here. But on the other hand, our information is... Oh, yes. I probably need to look at the correct post type. Yes, it's being called now. pdef team. Okay, yeah. So we could do just a little bit of, you know, sanity checking right here. Like if doesn't equal object type, you know, then return no, for example. Same with the update. You could also return the OPR, and I think the API will handle it fairly well. We're gonna update it, and we should be good here. Team member name. Here's my name. Sweet. Okay, so now we can finally go back to our Gutenberg block, and it's still not showing up. What is going on? Okay, let's go back. First of all, let's see what our React is showing, that we have the team member. We do have the team member name, so that's sweet. I guess what we're going to have to do is change team member name. Oh, still team member name. Type string source meta team member name. Yes. It's showing up here. What about our this guy, attributes, empty object? Am I not defining them? Attributes, team member name. Source meta. Oh. Haha. Okay, I see what's happening. Because this is not in the meta. It is now completely separate of that. Yeah, that's not fun. So yeah, this solution doesn't work either, because it doesn't register an actual meta field. There is no way to win, is there? Okay. Suppose this. Okay, is this going to work? This should work in theory. There is no way to win. I mean, obviously this works, but it's far, far, far from ideal, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's not ideal. And now it's not. Are you kidding me? Go away. Why am I not able to change this? Not able to change this. Probably has to do with our on change. This on name change. This on name change. Oh, right. Because we need to update this parameter as well, and that should actually fix the problem. I'm curious now to see if the meta box is probably not going to update. Is it? No. Okay, that's fine. but updating should actually update the information and save things into the meta. So let's reload the page. And yeah, so it updated my name now. Yeah, and that's how we can add all of these fields. All the simple fields, obviously, you just add more. And again, like I said, we don't even need this text control. It's going to be so much more intuitive for the user if they just see it right there on their screen versus, in a kind of obscure setting over here, an obscure panel over here. And you could do everything. As we saw with the cover image, you can put a media control, you can put a custom control, anything, really anything in here. So position, just position, and on position change, we just add this in here, add it in there, and finally add this here, except for our meta field is not called this, I believe. Oh, it is called just position. Okay. And repeat this again. Position, meta position, yada yada yada. And that should now show us the position as well, I believe. Yeah, so position, and obviously again, you can style this, you can do whatever. And that's how it's done, pretty much. There's not a whole lot more to it. There's obviously the image one, which is going to be a little bit more problematic, but I think they save. Let's try doing the image one as well, because it's useful to have it. So we'll do this number again, and we have member image. Obviously, if you're going to be using an image, just use the featured image. It's going to be so much easier, but still. Whatever. Okay. Oh my. We've gone very long time again today. Sorry about that. It just gets so easy to get sucked into this. Team member information. I promise I'm not going to hold you up much longer. Just want to add this image control, and then we're going to summarize what we did today, and that will be it. And the image control though, we need text controls, select controls, vector controls, that will be blocks. Inspector control. Is it in here or no? It's somewhere else. Media upload button, that will be blocks. Media upload button. Okay, so let's just look at the media upload button real quick. And we're not gonna find it here though. I mean, we'll find it, it's just gonna be not looking it up there. Instead, I want to look it up here in Gutenberg, and just search this real quick. Import media button. Oh, look at this, post featured image. So you can have the featured image as a component. That's insane. I mean, it makes sense that you can do that, but pretty sweet. On select, on update image. What does on update image do? What? Where's on update image? Apply connect is connect. What? Sweet. Huh. Interesting. I like it. Okay. Pretty cool. Okay. So we want to have on image change, and this is the image, and we do this attributes, this props update attributes, right? This props set attributes, and we just save it. But to save it, we need to do, yeah, so we're going to need the with API data again to pull the information about the image. And we don't need this stuff anymore. Member image, right? It's called member image, yes. Okay, so type integer, maybe source meta is member image, and this we can just call image, and it's going to do set image to image.id on remove image, so that's a separate thing. Okay. If we have an image, then we do a separate image. Sweet. So basically just this thing. We are going to want to grab the button from WordPress components. Which WordPress components was the LP components? So we want button as well. Okay. Text control, and then we can just do the media upload button like so. Our title is going to be just member image, button props, those feature image toggle. I don't think we need those. This on image change. Type image, model class, editor post feature image. I don't think we need the model class either. And just set member image. And let's just see what this is going to bring us real quick. If it's going to work at all. It should. Right here. Set member image. Okay. We click a button. We set the image. And it does something. It's not super pretty, obviously. Right, so this was uploading the image. Yeah. And what is... Right, so the media upload button doesn't have the thing. Right here. How are they using the featured image ID? So if we have a featured image ID, responsive wrapper. Ooh, sweet. Okay. Media. Where's media coming from? with API data. There we go. Look at this. Yeah, they already have this for us. Sweet. Yeah, nice. So all we have to do right here, we can just uncomment this whole block, and we'll just use this right here. I grabbed the whole thing, that's okay. So instead of calling this media, we're going to just call this image. And if we have, so featured image ID post type name. So instead of type, we're just gonna have image. So if we have image, I guess we can call that image ID instead, but that's fine. Then use this thing, otherwise undefined. And so now we're just going to want to extract this back into here's feature post type. So these are all of our props attributes, basically, isn't it? Or no, attributes, and here we have media, right? Let's see what we have in media when we load this thing. It's gonna explode, undefined, it's fine, because we probably don't have anything as the value. Post meta member image 201. Okay, so we can have here not string but integer instead. Did I change everything? No. Come on. Post meta member still 201. Meta key type all values are string, boolean, integer, and number. So that's what we have. We have integer. Sanitize callback. When sanitizing the data, authentication callback. That shouldn't really matter though, does it? Okay, let's see what we have here. Attributes, image. Oh, so we have the image here. Image, empty object. Oh yeah. Okay, so props, and then all of our attributes, right? Attributes. Type. Oh, right, because this just gives us type. Right, that makes sense. Props, attributes, Yep. So we just want to expand the image. Let's grab the image from here. And that should potentially work now. Still undefined. Okay. Then image Yeah, we should probably call this image ID. Except for this comes from attributes. Props attributes, image ID, call this image ID. And then this will still be just image. Perhaps, maybe not. Let's see. Media is not defined. Yes. So we're trying to use media right here. Image. Ooh, sweet, look at this. It's loading false. Data, here's our image. Woohoo, okay. Yes, okay. So if we have an image, let's see how they're doing it. So if there's featured image ID, do the media, and if we have a media and we have data, then do the responsive wrapper. Sweet. Okay. Media sorting. Spinner. There's a spinner. I love it. Okay. This is from the components. We want spinner. Spinner. And in here we just do this number. Except for, again, we don't call our thing media, we call it image. So if we have image and we have data, spinner. Oh, it's not going to be feature image, member image. Response wrapper, yada. Media pull button. Yeah, so this should show us the picture inside our thing. Did I just get rid of the button that we showed? No, it's just text. Okay. Reload this and we should see my picture in here. Or not. Okay. Media side effect. Am I still using media? Where? Oh yes, image. I'm sorry. What next? Responsive wrappers. Okay, where's responsive wrapper coming from? So I can see this is gonna be a little bit of a. Come on. Yes, you don't need to freeze on me right now. So definitely for me, this is gonna be a bit of, quite a bit of learning until I figure out, all these components, where they're coming from, and all that stuff. But at the same time, they're so useful because you don't have to, recreate everything every single time you're working on it. So that's pretty cool. Ta-da! Here's our image. Sweet. And we can have a button here styled that says set member image or something like that, so that we can change it. So let's change to my wife's picture, and it's not gonna work. Why is it not working? I should have just updated the picture. Attributes, image ID. Oh, yes, because I'm setting it to the wrong thing. Image ID is the ID over image, and then the rest should just automatically sort itself out. Yes, I want to reload. Leave me alone. It should just sort itself out automatically after that, right? Look at this. That's amazing. And obviously you still need to click update up here for changes to take effect, but how cool is that? Okay. Are you ready for the recap? I think I kind of am. So, to recap this pretty long session over about 2.5 hours. So, we set out in the beginning to take an existing Beaver Builder module and convert it into a Gutenberg block. We partially succeeded in the sense that our front end is exactly the same as it was before. We use the same CSS, use the same HTML, had to change very little there. We had to change just the way that we're getting the attributes of our block. So before they used to be this settings, whatever, now it's just the attributes array that's being passed. And as you can see here, and packdev.local. Come on. Yes, it's late, I get it. So this is our team, and we have the same effects, same CSS, same styling, everything is the same. The only thing I didn't get in here, it would have worked on the front end, it wouldn't have worked on the back end because I didn't hook it up, but we do have some contact stuff underneath each member. We can add email, phone number, and all that stuff. Yeah, so this is the only thing that I didn't add, but it's not that essential, I think. It was just going to be more code basically on the back end. Yeah, so the front end is exactly the same. That took about 1.5 hours to get the front end exactly the same, and the back end, you know, acceptable to a degree. And again, obviously in the back end you can simplify here. You can just put the image, and people will know that whatever's going to show up. But yeah, we determined that it's going to be relatively easy to convert Beaver Builder modules that are more simple, that pretty much are just, you know, anything that's getting a collection of posts, any, you know, a custom post type or whatever. If you already have that as a Beaver Builder module and you want to convert it to a Gutenberg block, the front end side is going to be relatively simple. You can reuse your front end PHP file. You can reuse the code in that file. Just change, swap everything out to be coming from the attributes instead of from settings title. You know, from settings you work with attributes, and this is an object. The other thing is an array. The rest was exactly the same. Like, yeah, I only had to change this thing right here. And that one, obviously. So relatively easy. You can reuse your code. Now on the back end, if you want to get things exactly the same as they are on the front end, which right now with Gutenberg the way it is, I don't think it's problematic if they're not exactly the same, because Gutenberg itself is not one-to-one what you see is what you get yet. I'm hoping to get to that point. So right now it's not super problematic if you just cut a few corners and make it not exactly the same as the front end. Again, it's going to be a different experience than Beaver Builder, so if your clients or whoever your target audience is, if they're used to seeing things one-to-one, then this might be a little confusing, different, and so on. So if that's the case, you might want to invest a little bit more time to make it seamless, more seamless. Yeah, so we saw how, again, we are using with API data to automatically fetch information from the REST API. Yes, something I almost forgot. You have to register your post type with the show on REST API set to true. Show on REST set to true. If you don't do this, you're not going to see your post type. You're not going to be able to fetch information about it, and you're not going to be able to edit that post type with Gutenberg. So once we figured that out, and once we made it, you know, somewhat acceptable, we set on to look at what we can do to make the editing experience inside of the custom post type more seamless and less dependent on, other plugins. In this case, we are depending on advanced custom fields. Okay. We are depending on advanced custom fields to enter all the information, all the custom information. But with Gutenberg, we don't really have to. What we did is to just create a custom block basically that enters the team members' info. Now, we didn't look into whether we can just put this in there and so that it's always there. I'm sure we can, or at least I'm pretty sure that we can. We didn't look into whether we can limit this so that you can't, add multiple of this one, because obviously you don't need multiple of this one, although they seem to be working in sync, which is pretty cool. But yeah, obviously we don't need those. We want to see if we can limit this, make it easier for the user. If they don't have to click add new block and then find, team member info, that's, better, obviously. Yeah, so we took a look. We discovered that you kind of have to use register meta, which is really not great. I'm hoping that the implementation will improve, and hopefully the changes to register meta that allow you to register a meta field for a specific post type will land in 5.0 with Gutenberg. Because right now, let me find register meta just to refresh everyone. You can use register rest field or register meta. If you use register rest field, you can add custom information to the REST API. You can also update through that, but Gutenberg itself does not allow you, or at least I haven't found a way, to attach an attribute to a specific REST field. It allows you to hook into a meta field, but not to a specific REST field. And maybe that's something that's coming into Gutenberg later on. I have no idea. Register REST field. Is there anyone mentioning that? We have two issues. For annotations. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, anyway. So with register meta, you cannot limit it to a single post type, and so you pollute every single post type with this meta. Which if you have like 5 post types with 100 fields across them, it's not gonna be a good thing at all. So you should consider that and follow closely on that particular issue, which was right here. A very helpful person, and then link to this issue. And I'm personally going to subscribe to this right now, except for I'm not logged into. Okay, let me log in real quick. Yeah, so I'll post this in the description. Go ahead, look it up. It is 38323. So this is the issue number. Go listen to it, see what changes and whatnot, and yeah. With that said, I think we pretty much accomplished today's goal, and yeah, I'll have to think about what to do next week. Feel free to, let me find that. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, ping me on Twitter. Let me know what you want to see next time. I don't know if we'll work with this a little bit more, or I'll figure something else more advanced to do. But next stream is going to be in a week. So on next Thursday, 11th of January at the same time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern European time or noon Pacific Standard Time. Again, follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching from, and to make sure that you get the notification when I go live next week. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time, and have a good rest of your day or night. See you next time. Bye.